Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Today Fantasy Flight released a few more spoilers for Empire at War. We only had 3 cards today. I'm going to discuss the cards and give my opinions on them. So starting off, we have the A280 Blaster Rifle. Red Hero card, 2 resources, 2 range damage for a resource, +1 range damage, +2 range damage, resource special in blank. It also has redeploy. So once the character that has it gets defeated, you can slide it over to another character. And the special is give 2 shields to your characters distributed as you wish. Um, the only negative about this card, I actually really like this card, aside from the resource cost on the 2. I think I would have been better with maybe if it was just 1 range that didn't have a resource cost instead of the 2 for a resource cost. I think it was if it was just 2 damage straight away without a resource cost, it might be too good to be a 2 cost weapon and probably not good enough to be a 3 cost weapon. So I can see where the designers were looking at that and were like, okay, make that a resource cost. Other thing I like about it is 3 damage sides overall. I do like that this is now another die that you can use with It's a Trap. So you play It's a Trap, and you turn any number of your red dice to a symbol that is showing on your opponent's dice. So you can focus this to the 2 for a resource, the +1, the +2. Might be better to have, let's say, get base damage on something else, and then go to the +2 on this, so you don't have to pay the resource cost to resolve it. Another card it works well with is is suppression. So let's say you don't have a resource, but you roll the 2 for a resource, or you don't have any base damage, and you roll either of the modifier sides. You can play suppression, remove the die, and then remove one of your opponent's dice as well. Um, I think this will go. I don't think this is a good. I think this is a good 2 cost weapon. I don't think it's as good as the Holdout Blaster. Holdout Blaster doesn't have a special, but Holdout Blaster also has ambush. This doesn't have ambush. If you were to have 3 resources, and you would play something like Swiftness, you can then give this ambush, but it doesn't have ambush. I don't think it's going to replace Holdout Blasters, but I think it's a card you can run in conjunction with Holdout Blasters, and maybe you would run them instead of if you were running a red It's a Trap deck where all your characters are red and pretty much all of the upgrades are red as well. So that's the A280 Blaster. We're going to move into our next card. And next up, we have the T-47 Airspeeder. This is Gray Hero. 2 resources, 2 range damage, 2 range damage, 1 discard, 1 shield, special, and blank. And the special is exhaust a support or draw 2 cards. So you can either exhaust a support, which is probably going to exhaust one of your opponent's supports, or you get to draw 2. Or if you have cunning, you could possibly do both options, or you can do one option twice. So this is really cool. So it gives you card advantage if you use the card draw option, or you can exhaust an opponent's support to basically prevent them from rolling it unless they play something like strategic planning or anything else that will let them then ready a vehicle or ready a support or whatever they want to do. So this is pretty versatile. I also love that this only costs 2 resources. So I think for its die for 2 is pretty solid. So you have 2 damage sides, and you have a discard, a shield, and a pretty cool special that will let you do one of 2 options. So say you really need cards, or you need a certain card, and you know that you're hoping to come to it pretty soon. You can use the special on this to draw 2 cards. Or if you really don't want your opponent to roll out their Millennium Falcon or their ATST or whatever it may be, you can use this special to exhaust it. So really cool card. This is the T-47 Airspeeder. We're going to move into our next card. And the final card that was spoiled today was Recycle, Neutral Gray Event, 1 resource. Discard one of your supports from play to gain resources equal to its cost. So let's just say you're playing Hera. I think this is going to fit very well in Hera decks. So you throw out a vehicle for free with her special ability. You roll it, resolve it, do whatever you need to do with it. And before the end of the round, before you would have to return it to your hand, you pay a resource, you discard it, and you get resources equal to whatever the cost of the vehicle was, or the support. Could be any support, but let's say you throw a Millennium Falcon out with her special, roll it, do 3 damage, 4 damage, whatever it might be, return it to the card. You then pay a resource and discard the Millennium Falcon, and you gain 5 resources. Essentially, it's the way this is kind of works is you're getting the resource cost of the vehicle -1 because you have to pay 1 to play recycle. But this is going to work very well in decks that are using like Scavenge or Starship Graveyard or anything that can get cards back out of your discard pile, or specifically get supports back out of your discard pile. Starship Graveyard. So let's say play Hera, roll her, resolve her special, drop a Millennium Falcon, roll Falcon, do whatever you need to do some damage, discard some stuff, get some resources, or whatever it might be. Play Recycle, discard the Falcon, claim the battlefield, get the Falcon back, and then draw it next turn, and you can get even more resources. So I think Recycle is going to be really interesting. So imagine this in like a Crime Lord deck. Um, Unkar already makes a ton of money, but let's say you start splashing in a couple vehicles, like a Slave 1 into an Unkar deck or something like that. You play your Slave 1, you get a bunch of money from Ukar's ability and the fact that he has the 2 resource sides. You then pay a resource, discard your Slave 1, get 4 resources, and now you might have enough to pull off Crime Lord or something like that. So I'm really excited to see how discard works, or not discard, how recycle works. Because you're discarding a support, gaining resources to it, and then you can also get it back through, like I said, Scavenge, Starship Graveyard, anything that lets you go back through your discard pile and pull stuff back to your hand or back to your deck. So those are all the cards that were released today. We had, again, the A280 Blaster, the T-47 Airspeeder, and Recycle. That's going to do it for today's video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.